Hi, I'm AJ with Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. As a homeowner, I commend anybody for wanting to do an install on their own, save money, completely understandable, but there are some dangers and some things that we're going to discuss and talk about. What we have here is a gas water heater. Down here is the gas control valve. Anytime that gas is connected to that, it will supply gas from the control valve and down into the burner assembly, which then heats the water within the tank. Here is your TMP, which is your temperature and pressure relief valve. This is a safety device for the water heater. If the tank itself ends up having thermal expansion from temperature or pressure, it will relieve that pressure to save your water heater and keep it from rupturing and leaking throughout the home. If the temperature and pressure relief valve is not installed correctly by a licensed professional, what can happen is you will either have leaks up here and around where the threads are, which will cause water to leak all throughout your home, or if it is not installed properly, if the tank itself does build pressure, then the temperature and pressure relief valve will not do its job by popping and opening, which will also cause your tank itself to bust. When installing the gas supply line to the control valve down here, you always want to ensure all connections are tight. If they're not tight, of course, you will have gas leaks throughout the home, which then can cause an explosion within your garage. So you always want to ensure that you have plenty of thread dope and sealant, and then make sure all connections are tight before turning on any gas supply. But of course, turn the gas off before you do anything whatsoever. What we have here is an electric water heater. Both upper component and lower components here carry a water heater thermostat as well as the element. So you have an upper and lower thermostat and element. So both of these work hand in hand. The wires from up top also connect and communicate with the components downstairs. The dangers of installing a electric water heater element or thermostats, first and foremost, is electricity that runs these elements. Now, you always want to ensure and turn power off, of course, and you always want to make sure you're free and clear of any wire ends and connections. Use something like a multimeter to also ensure there's no power running to the thermostats or the elements. Now, if you go to install these and the power is still on, you run the risk of dry firing elements, which of course elements have to be in water in order for them to heat the water within the tank. If you tend to dry fire elements, they end up looking a lot like this. They can sit there and break and bust and open and can potentially cause a fire out in the open. Anytime you're working on an electric water heater or a gas water heater, you first want to make sure that water is relieved within the tank anytime you're going to uninstall a water heater. You always want to, whenever water is filling back up, what you can use to burp the system is the temperature and pressure relief valve. That will relieve air within the tank to ensure the tank is completely full. Definitely more so with an electric water heater because the elements have to be completely covered with water. If they're not, that will also cause the water heater elements to burst. Even if you're handy with tools, I do commend anybody that wants to install an appliance by themselves. We do highly recommend that you contact a licensed professional at Pascal. We will come through and do the installs for electric or gas water heaters, even tankless options, just because there is such a complex process in installing them, and we want to ensure that it's properly installed for you, and that way you have no worries whatsoever. But please give us a call at any time and we'll take care of anything you get.